He's here. He's live. He's in the building. He made it. He's on time.
I made it. I know. I apologize, man.
Who's in the building? State your name.
My name is Christopher Savage, a.k.a. Christopher Savage. Come on. You know how it goes.
Who's Savage? Is there a difference between Savage and Savage?
That's my nicer side when I'm on stage.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I have to be a bit nicer when I'm on stage because you realise in the comedy game you can't be as brutal on stage because things nowadays are very PC. So it's almost like I'm calling myself Savage now.
Isn't that not the point of comedy, to be...
self-expression? Yeah. But... you can always say something, but it's how you say it, I guess. I guess when you first start comedy, especially if it's not your own show, you can. When it's your own show, you can say more about how you feel because people already know what you're like. They've invested in you. They will laugh regardless. But when it's people you don't know and you're saying things like that, then it becomes a bit tricky. So it's not really a freedom of expression. It's just half and half, I would say.
Let's talk about Savage, the beginnings of Savage in the comedy world. Right. So I'm also, because I had this conversation with, the first time I think I met you maybe, and I was speaking to Shabba. Yeah. I was talking about comedy. And the two greatest talents to me are the ability to sing and the ability to stand on stage and make people laugh. Mm-hmm. I think those are two amazing talents. Yeah. And sometimes I even listen to comedy and I don't even laugh because I'm listening to the structure of the joke. Yeah. I'm not a comedian. Yeah. I'm not even funny in the slightest, but I listen to something like that. Yeah. So how did you get involved in comedy?
You don't look like you laugh much, you know.
I got miserable face. The funny thing is, I'm the happiest person going, but my face is miserable.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a thing with black people. We just got that screw face, like, make me laugh.
I don't mean to. I can't help it. I've got Peckham. What can I say? Yellow break.
You're one of them road men that just stand there. Yeah, that was funny, cuz. That was
not even that. I'm there, my face is pushed. I don't even meet him. I'm in clubs and people come up to me. You're right. Is there
I get that all the time. People when I tell people I'm a comedian, they can't believe it. I swear on my life, always get it because reason why I've always got a straight face because I'm always thinking about something creative. Okay, I don't write down my comedy. I think of it. It's in my head.
So you don't write down. So we've gone completely off my question, but this is good. So you don't write down your jokes.
No, I structure it in my head, and while I'm structuring it in my head, I'm looking straight at a wall. I know it sounds weird. I can't write.
Well, you just zoned out.
Yeah, I zone out. Yeah. So when I write, I feel like I'm forcing it. But when it naturally, like I could be training in the gym or just walking and it might just click in my head. And when it clicks in my head, I have to stay focused on it for a while so it sticks there.
Because you've answered the question I've always asked because I would have thought like, how do you write? Because once you write in a joke, it's not natural.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got to think of. It's like I will play out stories in my head. Yeah. Or I'll think of something in my head that's quite funny. Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll hold that thought. Then I'll go somewhere and say it out loud. Yeah. And then if it sounds good, I will sort of get on my mobile and copy that in voice memo. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
So you don't forget it.
Yeah, so I don't forget it. Okay. But I can't write it down because it looks forced to me. I can't laugh at writing.
So I saw an interview with Gary Owen, I think his name is, the white comedian from America. He was in a movie, not Too Complete That Day, I can't remember. Anyway, movie. But he was saying about he doesn't write his jokes either. No one really believed him. So this is a thing that comedians sometimes don't write jokes.
Yeah, Jay-Z don't write down on the music, does he? It's in his head, and then you say it out. And then you memorize it and you keep saying it until it becomes structured right. Because you can think about it in your head, but when you say it out loud, that's comedy for you. It don't sound as good how you thought about it in your head.
How do you know a joke's good?
Everyone who makes a joke start off with thinks their joke is gonna bang.
Right.
And then they go on stage, and then they say it and it's a tumbleweed effect.
Right. You've had that?
Yeah, like when you first start in comedy, and you still get it now, you will still get it. It don't matter. Dave Chappelle got it up until 3-4 years ago, and this guy's a pro. And he said, he got booed off, and it's because he was, he said
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, he was high, man.
You can't boo off Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, but he was high. Do you know what I'm saying? And he came on, but I think he got booed off. But I don't know whether it was a joke or, but he said I didn't get booed off. I walked off type of thing. Right, but he said it was disgraceful. Yeah. And he says because he was high or whatever. But all I'm saying is you still have tumbleweed moments. Like especially if it's not your people coming to support you. Yeah. You go to a comedy club where no one don't know who the hell you are. Yeah. come on, say a joke. And you could be saying a joke that bangs in every club. 9 clubs. One club you say it in and it just doesn't bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's comedy.
What do you do in those sort of moments? So you're on stage and you've got this joke and you're lining up your joke. You know, this is going to kill him. You're just warming up to this one joke. You know, this joke never fails.
Yeah.
Release the joke.
Yeah, it's just dead.
What happens?
What you have to do is, some people will do something like, and then it sounds embarrassing. Yeah? But you got to just try and talk it off. Like, that weren't meant to be the punchline. You got to keep rolling it off. Do you have to
freestyle another joke or just go on to the next piece of material?
You might actually have, because in one material, you might have at least 5 to 10 punches in it. Just one story. So if that, like, let's say you're saying a story and that part of the story doesn't bang, you just keep talking like you were just saying it as a story. Do you know what I mean? And then hopefully the next one down the line might bang. So
I was challenged ages ago, years ago. I set myself challenges every single year, and one year I was challenged to do a stand-up.
Right, really?
Yeah, a challenge to do a stand-up because I love right, exactly. All now it's not been done. I can't do it. You know how brave you got to be to do stand-up.
Yeah, I get. Well,
I can't do it.
It has to be a natural thing to want to be on stage and just make people entertained by you. Yeah, like since I was a kid, I've always been stupid at home. I always wanted that attention.
I was the clown at school. But
really?
But believe it or not, right? Believe it or not.
No, that's like me. I tell you, when people don't see me normally, and they just see me on the street, they think that guy's miserable.
Yeah. You know what I noticed about comedians as well? A lot of comedians, as funny as they are on stage, a lot of comedians that I've met in the past are actual miserable sods.
Yeah, it's the happy. They call it sad clowns. That's the name for it.
Is this?
No, I think a lot of comedians are very observational and they're very analytical, so they tend to be quiet a lot. Like Eddie Murphy, you can tell he's quite boring off the camera, but he says that he himself said that he sits down, he looks at something for a while and he thinks, that's funny. He said it just like that. Oh my, whatever swear word, that is funny.
So same thing I do then, my miserable self.
So so he thinks of an amusing thing in his mind and then he releases it out in another way. Whereas a lot of people either just exhaust it there and then, but comedians tend to just hold all of that in. Yeah. Because we do it all the time. Yeah. It's like I do personal training as well.
Right, yeah.
So all of that fitness, I don't want to talk about it outside of work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like people keep saying, that's why sometimes like if I'm going out, I'll put on a jumper or a shirt. Yeah. So people don't know that I gym because I hate that conversation about the gym.
Okay, that's a lie.
I want to lose weight.
That's a lie because every time I've seen you're wearing some tight t-shirts, some tight jumpers.
That's when I'm out. That's when.
Right. Okay.
That's when you want attention when you're out. But like get-togethers or dues and all of that, where you know, like you don't really know people, but you know a couple people there. Yeah. Then people are trying to socialize with you. Then they want to start talking about the gym. Yeah. I don't want all of that. It's like comedy now. Yeah. Well, I see it and hear it so much now. Yeah. I don't want to have to. Boring now. Yeah. No, you feel that when you're out because you're a comedian, you have to make people laugh. They feel that you have to be funny all the time. Like, why do I have to be that amusing all the time? Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So. And that's why they're like, oh, I didn't know you was like that. No, because it's a job. It's like another job. And performing artists do tend to be a little bit more depressed as well because it's a depressing industry. That's why a lot of them take drugs.
Do you feel it coming? Do you feel it coming?
No, not with me.
Yeah, sure.
I'm quite balanced. Yeah. I would say that I'm quite balanced.
You said it, your whole face just changed. The energy.
No. I'm enjoying it at the moment. Yeah. At the moment, anyway. But everything becomes like normal, innit, after a while. At the moment, I'm enjoying it, but I can see why some people get depressed because it's like the music industry. Like 1 minute you're the thing, next minute someone comes and blows you off. Then you're not getting as much jobs, and this is all you've known. You can't go back to normal working hours. Do you know what I mean?
Because you can't go back to Argos.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's depressing. It's a depressing industry with all performing arts, even dancing, everything. It's just a depressing industry.
So back to my original question: how did you get involved? So I know you were like the clown, the comedian.
How did I get involved? I went to a comedy club, and I've always been entertaining because I started on Instagram, but I didn't blow on Instagram yet. I was just on Instagram doing sketches here or there. Yeah. So I used to like comedy, and then I would go to a comedy club. I took my mum out. It was her birthday, and I saw this girl perform. And I thought, you rubbish, man. She actually knows. I actually know her now, and I told her I went into. I started comedy because of her. No. She said, "Oh, what? Because I'm rubbish?" I said, "No. I just lied to her, but I did because she was rubbish." And I thought I can do it, and I think a lot of people do that. They sit back and watch and think, "I can do this." Mm-hmm. So anyway, I started writing. Tried to write in a book because I know when I was young I used to do music and MC. Okay. I never ever used to write in a book. What? Like drum and bass jungle, then a bit of garage, and then I started to rap. So I did all of that rubbish. But I always, again, put everything in my head. But years later, I thought, let me write, and again, that didn't work. But I still wrote stuff down, and I practiced it. I called up this guy, Stamina. Yeah, Stamina. I don't know. I think he's
was he on top.
I think. Oh,
okay, yeah, Stamina.
He does the Wahalas and stuff. Yeah. So I called up Stamina. Said, "Can I do a 5-minute set in Hideaway?" Which I didn't know at the time.
Because he does the
yeah. So at the time, I was like. At the time you just think it's a normal, At the time you think it's just a normal comedy club, but now Hideaway is difficult, and I didn't know. So I said, I'll do 5 minutes. So anyway, I went on, brought family and friends. I actually did a good show. I didn't get a tumbleweed once. I know because some of my friends were there supporting me. I know some of my friends were there to support me, my family and friends, and then. There was other people, obviously, and they were laughing. So I thought, that's not bad.
I got this.
So, I guess my first time was a good time. Then I think it was my third time that I was like, oh, that punched me in the chest. That weren't great.
Where was the third time? Do you remember?
Again, it was in Hideaway. Yeah. Because after Hideaway, I used to go to this guy, Junior Booker. And they were the only two places I used to go. Junior Booker on the Tuesdays was to practice new material.
Right.
And
where was that?
Brixton. It was just like in a bar.
Okay.
There's a few of us. We used to just say out new material. Yeah. And then Hideaway, I'll do like once a month. Yeah, okay. That's how it started anyway. And then, so again, I had that third tumbleweed moment, and that's because I was nervous and I was swearing a bit. When you're nervous and you don't know your thing, you swear. Yeah. And when you first do comedy, you tend to forget a lot of your lines, so you keep walking around searching. You blank out. Yeah. You blank out, and then I got a tumbleweed moment. And then I just thought, you know what, that's just part of the game. Do you know what I mean? So I've been through things where it's been...
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then after that, I did the online thing with one of my characters, Branches. Yeah. And that blew. I got a few characters now, and they're all sort of varied. So one's a posh man, you know. That's
is that a new one? Because I've only seen him recently. So
he's been around. He was my first ever character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You do a really good posh acting, actually.
Yeah. I've been doing it since I was young because I grew up to Felix Dexter.
Okay. Yeah.
Will McCoy, and I used to love his character, Douglas. Love his character, and I used to always mimic that at school when I was younger. Yeah. So. That kind of is just easy. It's just naturally for me to be posh because I've been doing it from then. Yeah. In fact, it was harder doing Branches. Yeah. Because I'm not a real road man. I've hung around road men since school days. Like,
where did you find the Avrix?
I've got a collection of stuff. Me and my big brother, we've got a collection of stuff.
You didn't let go of it, just kept it?
Yeah, we just keep it. He just kept it in the back drawer and stuff. Yeah, he's got drawers and stuff. Just keep them stuff. Yeah. And just collection. And what I've done now with them, I've tailored them up to my size. Because back in the 90s, they were baggy. So now I've just taken to the tailor. And then I've just make them look like it's new today. Do you know what I mean? It works. So I'm the only man walking around in iceberg jumpers, cartoon characters and that. But yeah, so then I started creating more characters, and that was my comedy. And now it's going well, man. So,
it's good.
Yeah,
good. Back in the day, I used to go to a place. I'm pretty sure it's Cotton's, but I might be lying. And it was. I think it was hosted by Kane Brown, and it was on a Tuesday, and that's where like people used to go and practice the material. I think that's where I first met Shabba. Actually, he won't remember this. Okay. And yes, I love that place because that's where people used to practice material, but it's not there no more. Yeah, which is why I asked you how you know your jokes work. Like, do you go?
That's what I'm saying.
Anywhere and practice?
It's harder. Yeah, you can go anywhere and practice. Depends on who's got open mic night.
Right, but you got to practice live. Like, you don't have a team of people say, right, this is
you have to practice live because you have to get the real feeling, right? Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to do it there and then, and if it don't work, that's fine in your head. You just say, well, some people don't like rejection at all, but if you're a comedian, you have to learn to take a bit of a beating. Yeah, and then the thing is about a joke, if it doesn't bang, there's only some parts that might not bang. All of it might not bang, but I'm saying when I say out a joke, I'll have a few punchlines in one joke.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, that part didn't work. That part did though. I'm keeping that. Then I'll take that part out, maybe replace it, and then try it again. If that don't work, I'll just take out that part completely and just shorten it to what's banging. So that's how you have to keep sort of structuring it. Then when it bangs some more, you might want to layer it. You can put layers over a joke.
There's science to it.
Yeah. So that's why some comedians, when you go and see, oh, I heard this joke before, I heard this joke. That's because you got time to. He has to keep saying it to make it nice and crisp, and then layer it.
Do you agree with this thing with Kevin Hart's done, where you go to a show and you put your phones in a bag or whatever it is, and you can't take it? Like, you agree with that?
Simple, because this guy is getting paid millions, right? People that are filming him are putting his show on TV. Now, if someone's recorded that before, someone, he can bootleg that.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm trying to say? And you can't record people's material, because you should be focusing on that comedian. Why are you recording people's material for other people to see that haven't paid for their ticket to come and see you? So you're paying for someone else's rubbish.
So is this something that you would do or do?
What's that?
Like, not confiscate, but tell people.
No, I don't, because usually now it's just Snapchat. But you do get some people, like at White Yardie events, trying to film the whole thing.
Is it?
And he's got a phone phobia. If you try to film this guy, he just stops his joke halfway through. Not even after, halfway through, and he say, yo, put away the phone, man. You know what I mean? You pay good money for this, and you want to film me and send
he's done it on stage?
Yeah, he's done it. He had to escort someone.
Serious?
Well, now that's because she was being a bit of a drunken idiot, he was stopping. He just doesn't care. He just has to have order.
Good on
you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. You know, and I hate when people do that. It's almost they do it just to say, look how much fun I'm having. Do you know what I mean? And you're not even caring about that's the comedian's material. Focus on the fun.
Yeah. You also talking about White Yard. You've got the podcast that you lot are doing.
Chalk and cheese.
Talk about it.
Podcast. Put a podcast. Chalk and cheese. Yeah.
That is awful. Stick to the comedy. That's terrible.
This podcast is starting to bang, man. I mean, we've been doing it since February, March. We've already accumulated almost 1,600 plus followers now. And it's getting more popular. We're getting much more views every week because people are starting to tune in more. And that's how things happen anyway. They build and build and build.
Absolutely.
And you've got two, like you got Dizzle and Yardie. They've got big platforms. I've got a decent platform. So people, and then you got Shabba and then C6 as well. C6 got his people, Shabba's got his people. So what we do is everyone together are starting to realise, starting to, I get messages now, your podcast is funny and stuff. So
I can't imagine that podcast not being funny.
Now what we do is we talk about, it could be, real life situations or every day, like yesterday was, how would you feel as a man moving in with your woman? Do you know what I mean? And then obviously from that, we just talk about it. But then it's always banter. Me and Dizzle are the idiots. We always try to drop the jokes. Then you got C6, who's the serious one. You need a serious one. Yardie's quite PC. He's very correct in his style. But he's he says what he has to say. But he's very professional about his movements. And Shabba is just a mixture of everything. Because
when I saw this happen, I thought, there's no way this is not going to be funny. But I don't know how long it's going to last. Because I can imagine it just kicks off. Like and then I saw the clip of you.
I stormed out, man.
Was that a real thing?
No, it was real, because the thing is, right, C6 will tell you, he said, out of all of us here, I'm the one with the smallest ego. I don't mind people speaking, but the thing is, everyone wants to get their word in because there's 4 big egos plus me.
Who's got the biggest ego?
That's a good question. The biggest ego, I would say, on the podcast, C6, because not in a bad way though, but he's like an alpha, innit? It's almost like you're not gonna bully him, you're not gonna tell him this. He's quite defensive in a way where he thinks that right, if you're talking to me like that, then you're trying to
right,
downgrade me. I ain't know, you know what I mean? Don't undermine me, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how C6 is. So he's quite strong in his approach. And then you've got Yardi as well. He's very professional, but you can't really...
So on the outside looking in, I would assume that Yardi's the one with the biggest ego.
No, definitely.
But seeing the little bit that I've seen, not at all.
Yeah, no, Yardi hasn't got a big ego, you know. Yardi's just very...
He's quite humble, actually.
Yeah, Yardi's very humble, you know. He's very humble. He's a boss.
Yeah.
But he's a very humble boss. He kind of likes order. And I feel that, but if his order doesn't go right, you can sometimes he might tell you about yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just Yardi. But he's very humble though in his approach. Dizzle, Dizzle's got a big ego, but he's a clown. So you can just say, "Oh, shut up, Dizzle, man, move, man." Do you know what I mean? You're an idiot. And Shabba's got a lot to say, and then you got C6 who's got a lot to say. So airtime wise, I'd say it's probably C6 and Shabba that take up the whole thing.
If anyone wants to catch this podcast who doesn't know about it already, where can they go and find it?
So this podcast is on SoundCloud, Apple, and all the other platforms. You just type up Chalk and Cheese Podcast, and you get loads of jokes from that.
Okay. What have you got going on?
Me? All right, so I've got my own event. I have it once a month. The last event was a shut down. It was in Clapham, and we've got loads of people there. And I'm the host, so I'm hosting.
Okay.
And I'm going to build up to one of my characters called Branches. I'm going to build up to doing a character on stage with him.
Okay.
So we're using that as well to help me do that. But this month again, next month, it's 5th of May. It's in a bar called Clapham, bar called Fu Manchu in Clapham. That's SW4. Nice area. Just because you're here south, it doesn't mean. Now Clapham's it's a party town, isn't it? And it's on the day before bank holiday, and a lot of the tickets are me selling fast anyway. And I got a few the good social media influencers there. People like Castillo, LV General. You got the singer Angel. He's coming down. So I've got like a lot of people like that bang on it. I've got the whole Carnival Soca crew coming down there. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be a good night, man.
What's the date again?
5th of May.
5th of May.
And yeah, there's gonna be 5 comedians on, and I'm gonna be the host and be games in between as well.
Who are the 5 comedians?
So you got Salman Malik. Indian guy, and he's funny, he's hilarious.
Right.
And you got K Kurd, he's the headliner.
Okay.
He opens up for Mo the Comedian.
Okay.
So he's the one, but just before Mo Comedian comes on, so he's on those levels.
Okay.
And then you've got Ali Woods. Ali Woods is been on big shows like Comedy Store.
Okay.
In the Leicester Square and stuff. And then you've got Mr. Blair, old school, but them old school guys are solid and professional. He's funny. And then you got Matthew Harrison. He's kind of newish. Okay. And the newer ones go on first, but Matthew Harrison bangs as well. So
I've never heard of any of these comedians.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Yeah. And in the last one, people was like, I ain't heard of Victor Daniels. And Victor Daniels tore down the whole place.
That's a good thing as well. That's nice when it happens as well.
Yeah, when you don't like, who's this guy? It makes it funnier. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no expectation.
Absolutely, 100%.
Makes it better. Trust me, yeah.
Who's your favourite comedian?
In the UK or America or overall?
Both.
Overall,
yeah.
In terms of talent, comedy on a bigger scale, Jamie Foxx. Reason why I say Jamie Foxx is so underrated, but the guy I watched his stand-up comedy the other day to see if I still found it hilarious. I was in stitches. The guy can do loads of impressions. Can do loads of it. He's got one called Jamie Foxx Unleashed, and he's doing Bill Clinton's voice. He's doing O.J. Simpson.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's one of the most talented people alive.
And and to excel in all platforms. So film, he's excelled in. He got Oscar. Comedy, he's excelled in. He's got his own DVDs. Obviously, this is where he blow from, and in Living Color as well. And music. And the music, platinum. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't say this man, but no one actually puts.
It's crazy, right?
And I've seen him, and he done his radio station back in the days.
Hilarious. Foxhole.
Hilarious, yeah. And when him and Kevin Hart were cussing each other when he talks about the story how he met Suge Knight.
Hilarious.
Right, the story. And you see how witty he is by the way he rinsed Kevin Hart. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Kevin Hart had no talk for him.
So when I wanted to do my radio show, I wanted to do a Foxhole because I'm not a comedian. I tried to be, but I wish I was. And I wanted to do a Foxhole type show.
Yeah, type of joke.
Yeah, it never happened.
It was sick. So for me, he's got to be the most talented guy on this planet for me. And then in terms of English comedians, Kane Brown, that's my idol. Kane Brown, like, I'm in awe of that guy. Like, even just the other day when I watched him perform, I'm just in awe. Like, the guy, he made me want to get into comedy as well. It wasn't that girl. But the girl was only gave me confidence. But Kane Brown, after seeing the way they call him the Dark Destroyer. He goes in and he just rips guys apart.
I'll tell you how I learned Kane Brown was funny. But when I used to go, when he used to host that show in Cotton's in Angel, Islington, wherever it was, and he made me sit in the front, and then he just decided. I said, "Don't say nothing to me because I don't want to sit in the front." And obviously, he's an a-hole like that. I started tearing into me, so I thought, I'm not having it. And I was with some girl, and I thought, no, I can't embarrass myself in front of this girl. And I tried to give it back in it. Who told me to do this? Who told me to do that?
Nah, not with Kane.
Murdered me. And the thing is, I was doing all right for the first 10 seconds. I was all right. Then that's it. I was done.
Yeah, not Kane Brown. Yeah. How did you feel after?
You know what? I just had to, because I don't mind being a butter joke, so I'm good like that. So but he got me good.
Well, at least you gave it back though.
I tried. I thought, I'm not having it. But then he done. So I can't remember what it was years ago, but something about Apache Indian, but the way he just dropped it just done me like. Oh mate, I thought never again.
Kane Brown. Shout out Kane Brown. I was on a film set the other day, and I was actually filming on set with him. He was the main guy. I was, and. So it's good to actually be on set with your idol. Do you get what I'm saying? The other day, or just before I go, but I'll finish the subject. The other day, this is why I know he's my idol, because I did a set and he was hosting. And this was like last year, and I had a tumbleweed. It just didn't go well. And I wasn't even upset by the people. I was upset because Kane Brown was hosting. Oh, wow. And he's my idol. And I didn't want to do rubbish in front of him. But then the other day he saw me in Birmingham perform, and he came up to me and said, bruv, that was a sick set. And when you hear that from your guy, and I think he genuinely said it, because sometimes you just say good set, but he was actually saying, he goes, you've only been doing this for a year, and you a year and a bit, and you're...
So you've only been on stages for a year and a bit?
Yeah, year and a half. And he goes, and you are where you need to be at this time. Probably look back in the year and say how good you progressed from then, but right now you banged. You know what I'm saying? So that made me happy that day.
Go on, you about to say something?
Yeah, and he's going to be doing my show soon. He said just to support me, he's going to do it. So even though I ain't got the budget for him, he's going to do it.
No, it's good that he does that as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's such a cool guy, man.
What's the industry like, actually? That leads me onto this, because, like, for example, we do a lot of music things, and there's a lot of ego and all the nonsense that goes with it. That shouldn't have an ego, by the way. What is it like in the comedy? Because I can imagine it's really competitive.
Mate,
each other.
Mate, the comedy is just...
Is it clicky?
Can I say the word bitching?
You just said it. You just said it.
There's a lot of being around. There's a lot of messing around, and a lot of arguing. A lot of people saying, this person's not funny. Oh, I heard you say I'm not funny. Is that true?
Serious?
Yeah. And then...
But some people aren't funny. Like, there's comedians I don't find funny, but someone else will.
That's what I was just about to say. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not funny to everyone. Fine. Do you get what I'm saying? If I was funny to everyone, I'd have more followers than I do. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not funny to everyone. However, the people that do know me... find me funny. So it is what it is. And I've been followed for a reason. Do you get what I'm saying? So I can't impress everyone. And the thing is, if someone sees you once and you have a bad show, then they'll have a preconceived thing about you in their head. So even if you bang at the next show, they still won't laugh because they didn't like you from the last show.
100% true.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't satisfy everyone.
Do you make an effort to try and win over people that may have... No?
Well, I should do. That's my problem. Like, I performed in Turkey about... It was this last year, September, right?
Oh, the Weekender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and I didn't do well because I'm going to blame half of it on the situation that I was in.
What's the situation?
So the situation was, I lost my passport. I lost my thing. I had to pay money to come out the next day because I thought they really needed me. So I went out there. I went out there, and the place that he gave us wasn't even a proper comedy venue. We were doing this at a rave. So when people are dressed up to go raving, for one, their mind mentally is not up for comedy.
And everyone's standing up.
Everyone's standing up. Okay. 3, it's in an open air event where when you're doing comedy, the mic needs to echo in. I couldn't even hear myself on the mic. I felt like I was throwing off rhythm because I couldn't hear myself. That on top of like them expecting to see branches. And I ain't going to go on like a clown, right? I will be branches myself when I'm ready. But don't expect me to come to big hot turkey in a flipping Avirex jacket. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, I just thought that they didn't like me. And even though I've done many good shows before then, there's some people in that crowd that I might have won over. And there's some people that say, nah, that guy's rubbish in real life. He's good online. But, you know, so that is what it is, man. I can't please everyone.
It is what it is. Back in the day, the main comedians we had after, let's say, the real McCoy and such were like the likes of Richard Blackwood, Kojo, Kevin J, I think, maybe.
Kevin J.
But then you got Kojo going on Britain's Got Talent. From a comedian, your face, right? From a comedian's point of view, what do you think about that? Would you do it? And what do you think of someone who's done so much, and I suppose done a lot for other people because he brought other people into comedy as well? Is it a backward step?
Has he brought a lot of people into comedy? I didn't know.
Well, I'd assume so because he had his night over at
Backyard.
No, even before that, I can only think Lloyd's. What's the place? Just off Oxford Street?
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the venue now. So you had a comedy night there. So he used to bring people in. I'm assuming. So he's done it a lot to get to this point. He's been working in LA. I know he was doing that, doing a few bits
Wilding out and that. TV shows.
And then he comes over and does Britain's Got Talent.
See, I felt that he looked, like when he came out, he looked like he shouldn't have been there. Because he looked...
Because you know who he is, or...?
Yeah, maybe it's because I know who he is. Because he came on and then, you know, like if you get fired from a good job. Yeah. And then you walk into like just a normal admin job after. And they're like... Where you go?
Right, okay,
It's almost like the way Alicia looked at him was like, oh, Kojo, surprised to see you. It's almost like she's seen him move over to the high place in Canary Wharf. And now he's back in just London
Dalston.
Bridge. Or News, you know what I'm saying? So the way she looked at him was like, but you don't know what he's doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kojo's a man that he has his own reasons. No one can ever judge him or tell him why he's doing what he's doing. He's got a kid, he's got a fiance. Also, it's more exposure for him, I guess, him being on TV. And
just that one show alone.
Majority of people that watch Britain's Got Talent are probably white. So now his face is exposed to like the white culture. And that can also help him get bookings by getting a gold buzzer. It's just something he can put on the CV. And like I said, he's probably trying to increase his career or trying to get through another glass ceiling in another way. If this is that route he needed to take to do that, then fine. I can't judge him for that. I'm just saying the only thing that was funny is that when he stepped on stage and she was like, fancy you, what are you doing here, mate? You should get out. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I've actually not even seen it. I've just seen little clips on Insta.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw his set. I've seen him do better sets, but the way they edit it and stuff, you don't know how good the set was. You have to be there live. I've heard all the jokes anyway, but you will, because he's going to say his jokes that he said before because he's not going to say anything new just in case. He's going to say the ones that work, the ones that bang. And so...
Talking about different crowds and like exposure to like the white crowd and all the rest of it. Would you say that what would you say about your crowd? Would it be a predominantly black crowd? Have you been exposed to the white crowd? Would you like to be exposed to a white crowd?
Definitely.
I've always said that I found Dave Chappelle as a white person's comedian. I've always felt that.
I still think he bangs in both though.
No, I definitely do, but I think he appeals to white people more than most.
White people do love Dave Chappelle, and that's why he went Hollywood. So he bust through the glass ceiling.
And the same for Kevin Hart.
You have to change your style, like Mo the comedian changes his style a little bit in order to be liked.
I don't remember.
I actually, in fact, to tell you, I don't really know much about him, but I know he used to be on the urban circuit a lot.
So I saw him a couple of times years ago, didn't hear nothing from him, and then all of a sudden...
I saw his set on YouTube. And it sounded very mainstream.
Okay.
It sounded like Like he was directing it for, because even the way he was speaking Jamaican.
Oh, that, yeah.
Ganja
farms.
But then before that, the set was like, so my dad's a Rasta.
Yeah.
Like the way you're saying it is
Rasta.
like, people need to understand, but it's professional. You have to do it, because if you start talking like, you see my dad, he's a dread. The white people are like, what? What's going on? What are you talking about? So you have to slow it down for them.
So how do you do that then?
By doing mainstream.
Yeah.
Mainstream style jokes. You can't really talk about, you can talk about your culture, but you have to talk about your culture in a way where it's relatable. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to talk about, and then also, if you're going to include white people in a joke, you have to do it in a way where it don't sound like you're being racist.
But can we do it in the UK as well? Because what reminds me about comedians, well, everything's always race related. It annoys me. I'm done with it now. Yeah. But Americans maybe can get away with it more than in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a factor?
Yeah, because there's more segregation over there. It is way segregated. When you go out there, you see how the black people just with blacks, whites are with whites. It's very, even though the whites are now getting more with the rap culture and stuff like that, it's still very segregated. What we see on TV, do you know what I mean? So because of that, they're going to probably speak about the stuff that they've been through, like, or they see more on a racist level. You know what I'm saying? And it probably burns them a bit more than we do, because we more integrated over here a little bit.
And what about, like, because I'm going to wrap this up in a minute because we're going to the ads, but what about, like, topical comedy? Do you talk about things that happen in life in general? Would you touch on something sensitive like the R. Kelly trial?
See, I wouldn't go there. Again, there's too much PC. I would like to make up stuff about it, but do I even take that risk, or do I just skip that joke completely? Because
but surely your job as a comedian is to take that risk.
Yeah, you can take the risk. However, you don't. You can do it, but also just remember what club to say it in. You have to have a bag of jokes for different crowds, man. So. And
the last thing I'm going to ask you, I've been asked to ask you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the boot of your car.
See, when you do a lot of acting, right? Actors will tell you they got suitcases with props in it. I've got a suitcase in that boot with props, but
what are these props?
It's got my Branches costumes. It's got my other character Riverdon. It's got,
you leave that in your boot.
Scrappy's costumes. It's got swords in there. It's got wigs. It's got all types of crazy stuff.
Why? Why don't you leave it in your yard and then put it when
Branches
you need it?
stuff? Because when I drive there. I can't be like, let's say if I'm not at home. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're on a film of Branches kit. I need to know that my stuff, it's like a Superman outfit. Wow. You have to carry it everywhere with you, bro. Or just your props in general. You have to make sure it's there, because when you're driving, you pull up, you put on a little jacket or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As long as I've got the jacket, my hat, my gold tooth, that makes it, because the rest they can cut out the bottom. If I'm wearing like today's clothes, because he has to wear all old stuff, then I'll say cut out the bottom and I'll just focus on the top. You know what I mean?
Christopher Savage,
nice.
Thank you very much for joining me on Top Radio. One more time, let people know what they can expect for you at the beginning of May.
Make sure you come to my event on the 5th of May. It's called Time to Laugh. 5th of May, Time to Laugh. That's in the Fu Manchu Bar in Clapham, SW4. You can buy your tickets on Eventbrite or shubs.com. And there's quite a few deals in there. So if you bring your partner, you pay £15 instead of £20. That's £10 each. But as the week goes on, tickets can get more expensive because it's coming up to the big show, which will be not this Sunday, next Sunday. So buy your tickets fast before it starts getting more expensive.
What if you bring your partner and your side piece? Would you get?
Well, then we'll give that to you for a £5. In fact, I'll give that to you for free because you're such a G.
Christopher Savage, thank you very much for joining me.
No worries.